So, what's up, everybody? Close this here. I did a video a while back under the Recollections series of videos, and in that video, I was describing how I was a victim of a racial attack, and I also went on to state that I gave Stan Lee credit for creating characters, a lot of black characters in Marvel. I gave him credit for putting diversity, in my opinion, into the comic books. And then my man, Sequential Geek, he's a subscriber. Let me see if I can get this up here. Right, his Sequential Geek. He said to me, don't you think you give Stan Lee too much credit? He didn't fight in the war, and later when the staff was laid off, he was the only one that was able to keep his job. Then he says, check out Arlen Schumer's lectures on YouTube about Jack Kirby and Bill Finger, for example. So I was like, all right. So I went and I looked at several of these lectures by this gentleman, Arlen Schumer. And to my surprise, I was, you learn something new every day, man. You think you know it all, but you don't. I would tell anyone that's seeing this video, check it out yourself. If you're really heavy into comics, and again, if you're going to be into a hobby like comic books or any kind of hobby, it's always good to know its history, its background, where it started, who started it. These things just interest me. I don't know about everybody else, but I love to. If I'm into something, I got to know everything about it, even its history. You know what I'm saying? And I was surprised to learn that the way he went into detail about who created what. Because as an artist, right? This is my question. As an artist, this is my question. He describes in in the lecture a situation about Galactus, right? Galactus. Now, as a kid growing up, definitely you read the comic, you see who the artist is, the writer, the inker, the colorer. You see all that. I just naturally assumed as a kid, Stan Lee did everything. Stan Lee didn't do everything. I just assumed this was a guy who imagined all these characters, and then of course, obviously had other people draw. Because I know when I looked at comic, I could see all the different styles. I know none of the artists said Stan Lee was an artist. So, but I never gave it any deep thought. But I'm talking about creators. So as an artist, I like to draw, of course. So if I get together with a friend and he says, hey man, you're an artist. I got great story ideals and I got character ideals, but I can't draw. I think if we start now I'm talking about if you're in a company, and you come to me and you say, listen, I got an idea for a character, and you give me the name of the character and you describe him to a T and his powers and abilities, and I draw it, then I'm not the creator. I didn't create the character. I put the character on paper for you, but I didn't create the character. I didn't create it. It didn't come from my imagination. But if you come to me and you say, this character here needs a villain. And you'd say to me, he needs a villain, you know, like, okay, for example, if my man created the Human Torch, right? He had the idea for the Human Torch in his head, the powers, abilities, but I drew it for him. It's his creation because he couldn't draw it, but he thought of it, he created it. But if he comes to me and he says, now our Human Torch needs a villain to fight him, and the guy goes, just create something, Tone. Just make up a character to fight this guy. And I say, for example, he says, make it somebody that's the opposite of the Human Torch to fight. All right, so he didn't give me no name, no powers and abilities. He just said, think of something. And then I go home and I come back the next day with Water Guy, because obviously the Human Torch needs to battle someone. And I create a guy called Waterman or Aquaman, for example. And he controls water. You control fire, controls water. Now I believe that character, Aquaman or Waterman, that's my character. I created that dude. I created that character because you didn't give me no details. You just said, make up something. And I made up something. You don't get credit for that. You get credit for the Human Torch, creator, but I get credit for creating a Water Guy. I was shocked to find out that there's a part in the lecture where he talks about, telling Jack Kirby to create a villain for the Fantastic Four and make him big. And then Jack Kirby comes back with Galactus. But then somehow, Stan somehow maybe gets the credit for it. Stan Lee didn't create Galactus. Jack Kirby created Galactus. But somehow Jack Kirby created a whole lot of characters. Like he created, from the lecture I understand, he created the Silver Surfer. He created the Silver Surfer. That whole story plot, whatever, but he created that character. God damn. And Silver Surfer is definitely hands down one of my favorite superheroes, hands down. But it was shameful to hear that Jack Kirby never got a lot of credit. A lot of the artists at Marvel never got credit for their creations because they created it under the Marvel roof, so therefore Marvel owns it. And that sucks. And I can see why later on I saw some other documentaries and why some other creators, branched off and went and did the Image thing. And I learned why that happened. And it was important. And it's a good thing that maybe Homeboy did that with the Spawn thing, because Marvel definitely would have took his Spawn and took it for themselves. So, I don't think that should be the way it should be. So I want to give props to sequential geek for turning me on to this cat. And I'm gonna watch some more of those lectures later on tonight because I want to hear more about the inner workings of Marvel. So I want to make a correction also on my statement. I want to give, of course, Marvel Comics their props for creating diverse characters, bringing them to us. But I want to give props to all the pioneers, past, present, and future, and especially to Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and Bill Finger and all the characters that created superheroes who came up with these great superheroes and never got their credit. I'm not a fan of that. I learned about what happened with the Superman deal. That was whack, man, what they did to those two cats, man. But that's just the way people do bummy business in this world, man. I'll never understand greed either. You know what I'm saying? I'll never understand that. If you make $1 million, let me get 500,000. Let me get a taste. Why you gotta have it all? You know what I'm saying? I'll never understand greed. I'll never understand it. There's nothing you can say to me on any level that'll make me understand why a person would be so fucking greedy for money that they can't share the credit and share the success with their partners or the people that are helping them make success. I'll never understand that mentality. There's things like that that make you almost want to shame to be a human being. And make me say sometimes, I'm getting older now, and I just call people what they are. Stupid. If you stupid, you stupid. If you're greedy, you greedy. If you're selfish, I'm just going to call you what I see that you are. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to make it politically correct. No. You're fucking stupid. You're fucking greedy. And you're stupid. You're just stupid. And that's where you're going to be. You know? So once again, big shout out to my man SG for putting me on to this cat. And I'll give credit where credit is due, man. And that's all I'm gonna say on that one. It's Friday. I didn't go to work, and I hung out with some friends last night, and just wow. Whew. So I'm gonna go and give me a glass of water, something cool down. But anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. And I'll be posting a lot more, some more stuff soon. I got a lot of things to show you. Can't wait to show you. Okay, I don't know if you can see this, but right there is a mirror, right? And that mirror is pointed to the outside hallway, and that's my kid's room, and my doggy just walked across that floor. Do you know I just had a heart attack thinking that there's somebody in the room? I'm thinking that this mirror is reflecting here. You didn't see, maybe you'll see it. I'm gonna rewind it. You see it. He walked right across it, but from the corner of my eye, it just looked like a body or movement on the floor. This is why I don't watch too many horror movies, because I get spooked out quick, bro. I'm a big dude, but I'm a teddy bear. Sometimes I get a little, my heart rate. This dude, man, scared the mess out of me. Whew. Let me get him. Miko. Me. Come here, buddy. Miko. I'm gonna show these guys. I want anybody to meet you. So, this is Miko. This guy scared the shit out of me just now. What's up, mate? Say hello. Yeah, he's the Yorkie. He's an old guy. He's been with us a long time. He's my buddy, though. He hangs out with me all the time. Hey, mate, what's up? Okay. Thanks, buddy. All right, so, y'all. Later.